The Hurst grill that we have here today will appeal to the 2018 and newer GT and EcoBoost owners who are after the retro vibes of a black billet grill, but with a modern twist. Now, the Hurst option will deliver an injection molded TPO build with a textured matte black finish, along with the classic Hurst emblem, all for right around the $200 price point just for the upper alone, while you're looking at right around the mid $400 ballpark for both the upper and lower grills combined. Now, install, at least according to the site, is going to get bumped up to a solid 2 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter here, just due to the fact that the bumper does need to come off with this one. So altogether, figure a couple of hours to complete from start to finish. And as always, hang with me for a bit, guys, and we'll walk you through that job later in the video. Now, I've been on record with my distaste, if you will, with the factory grill on the 2018 and newer cars. And hey, if you're watching this video, chances are you agree with me. Now, luckily for us, the aftermarket has us covered with many different options, including this one from legendary shifter company Hurst. That's right. Lately, they've been branching out as a company to different parts such as exhaust, to appearance parts like this grill, even rear spoiler and quarter window covers, all of which, by the way, you can find right here at AM. So this grill to me is a dead ringer for those classic billet grills or overlays, or even some of the newer California special style grills, but of course with modern materials here and shaped to fit the 2018 and newer S550s perfectly, thanks to the OE CAD data used in the design process. Now, as you can see, you have a 7 horizontal bar design here, stacked on top of one another for the upper, 4 bars for the lower. And both grills do have these 3 vertical lines, which are really vaguely visible, I'd say, from the front of the car. And that's all tied together by the factory style surround. Because again, yes, this is a complete replacement and not some sort of overlay like you might see with other billet grills here on the site. Now, one thing I do really want to point out, guys, is that yes, we are kind of making the upper grill the star here in this video. Obviously, you can see Hurst does offer a matching lower grill for the 2018 and newer cars. And if you really want to emphasize that look, keep things consistent, I certainly recommend picking up both to really hammer home that retro look. Now, as far as your construction is concerned, again, you're going to find that injection molded TPO material, which I would say is consistent with a lot of your aftermarket grills currently on the site. It's got a little bit of flex, but it's durable, and ultimately it's what you want on the front of your car in regards to being able to withstand some light abuse. Now, that TPO material has been finished off in a light grain matte black finish here, guys, which does flow rather nicely with some of the other plastic currently on the exterior of your car. Last but not least, guys, you can see Hurst does kick in the really nice logo for the upper grill here. It's actually been made from a billet aluminum material, and it does adhere to the grill thanks to the pre-installed 3M tape located on the back. I think it just really kicks up the look. Now, I do also want to point out that yes, you can get the upper or the lower grill available separately here on the site. But if you really want to nail that look, obviously I'm going to recommend picking up both just to keep things a bit more consistent. But now comes a point in the video, guys, where we want to segue into our installation, kind of show you what it takes to get both the upper and lower grills in place on your ride. So without further ado, check out our detailed walkthrough and tool breakdown right now.
The tools used for this install are a clip removal tool, a ratchet, small cordless impact, 10, 8, 7, and 5.5 millimeter sockets. So for this install, obviously because we are replacing the front bumper, the factory front bumper is going to have to come off. I'm going to walk you through the whole process and show you all the tools you'll need to get the job done. So let's get started. I'm going to start by using my clip tool to remove the clips that hold down the upper rad cover. Just pop these out and then rad cover will come right off. Next, I'm going to use my 6mm and 8mm sockets to remove the 8 screws along the top of the front bumper. There are 2 6mm, one on each corner, and 6 8mm along the front. So just to make my job a little bit easier, I've got the car supported on a lift. You can also use jack stands, and I'm gonna pull the front wheels, and that's gonna give me better access to the hardware for the inner fender liner as well as the corner of the bumper. So there are 5 clips on the inner wheel well liner that I need to remove, and this is going to gain me access to the corner bolts for the bumper. So I'll just use my clip tool once again and pull those 5 clips out. Now I can do that on the other side of the vehicle. Now that I have my inner fender hardware removed, I can peel back my inner fender liner and expose the 2 10mm nuts that hold the corner of the bumper on. I'm going to use my 10mm socket to remove those, and then I can unplug the light that's mounted in the bumper. Once you have everything unhooked, you can repeat this on the other side. So the last thing I need to remove before I can pull the front bumper off of this car is the belly pan for the vehicle, and there are 2 clips and a bunch of 7mm screws that hold it in place. I'm going to use my clip tool once again, and as well as a 7mm socket to pull all the hardware off the bottom and pull the belly pan off. At this point, we're ready to pull the front bumper off the car. I pulled the corners down just to release the clips, and now I can just lift this off and remove it from the vehicle. So now that I have my bumper removed from my vehicle, I have it sitting here on a body horse, and all I need to do before I can install my new grills is remove my crash bar and my 2 original grills. I'm going to accomplish this with my clip removal tool, and I'm just going to work my way around the clips, removing them one by one. There are 6 clips on the crash bar that need to be released, 2 in the middle and 1 at each of the 4 corners. I'm just going to work my way around. I'm going to apply a little bit of upward pressure while I pry the clips back, and I'll work my way around until all 6 of them are released. So just like on the crash bar, there are a series of clips located around the perimeter of the upper and lower grills that retain the grill to the bumper. Same thing, I'm going to use my clip tool once again and work my way around, releasing each clip, and I'm going to maintain a little bit of upward pressure just so when the clips do release, they don't want to re-engage. Once all the clips are released, you can remove the grill. And I'll just repeat that same exact process for the upper grill as well. So now I'm ready to install my new grille into place on my bumper. This installs exactly the same way as factory. I'm just going to line up all my clips with the holes in the grille, give it a little tap, and get the clips to engage. Now that I have my clip holes lined up, I'm just going to give the grille a little tap to engage the clips into the grille. Working my way down the line just to make sure everything stays lined up while I engage these clips. Now I can repeat that process with the other grille. Just like I did with my upper grille, I'm going to line up my tabs and give it a little tap, working my way around to engage them. Now that our upper and lower grills are fully installed into the bumper, we can go ahead and peel the 3M backing on our logo and install that to the front. And now we're ready to install our bumper onto the car. Once you have both the upper and lower grille installed into the back of the front bumper, you can go ahead and reinstall your crash bar. With our bumper fully assembled, we're ready to reinstall it back onto our vehicle. And we're just gonna line up all of our holes and reinstall it in the reverse order of removal. Since I'm already up top here, I'm going to go ahead and reinstall my 8 screws along the top of the front bumper. I'm going to use my 8mm socket and my 5.5mm socket to reinstall them. Next, I can reinstall my 2 10mm nuts on the corner of the front bumper and tighten them down with my 10mm socket. Next, I can reconnect my fog light and turn signal, and then I can reinstall all of my fender liner hardware. Now I can reinstall my clips that secure the front bumper to the inner fender liner. And once I have those on, I can move on and do the same thing on the other side before I install my belly pan. Now that I have my inner fender liner attached to my front bumper, I am ready to reinstall my belly pan. And I'll just get some of my screws started, and I'll go back through with my 7mm socket and tighten them all down. I have all of my screws started for my belly pan, and now once again I'll just take my 7mm socket and tighten them all up. Now I can reinstall the clips in my belly pan and also install the clips for the inner fender liner to belly pan. At this point, if you removed your wheels to get to your inner fender liner hardware like we did, you can start putting your wheels back on, and then we can lower the vehicle onto the ground. And our final step of this install is going to be reinstalling our upper rad cover and all of the clips that secure it to the vehicle. And that's going to wrap up this review and install of the Hurst grill fitting your 2018 to 2020 Mustang. Thanks for watching, and for all things Mustang, keep it right here at AmericanMuscle.com.